Hello friends, I am Jeyan. This is our channel jeyansocial. Today the topic is the truth behind the farmers' protest in India. The farmers' protest in India is continuing more than a month. We never thought initially that the farmers' protest will strengthen in that way and the protest will continue for a long time. Farmers' demand initially was to make the government to repeal the three enactment regarding to agriculture the government has made in recent time. But later, because of the strength of the protest, make the farmers to demand more, which include legalization of MSP, then stop penalizing farmers for violation of environmental norms, particularly in New Delhi and surrounding areas. Then no changes in the electricity subsidy given to the farmers. When we look at this issue historically, there is a strong link between farmers, corporates, environmental pollution, then government efforts to stop pollution and groundwater depletion. We shall look into the issue one by one in detail. Before that, remember to subscribe our channel and click the bell icon, then you will get immediate notification when I post new videos. As Gandhi said, India lives in villages and also villages are the backbone of Indian economy. As we all know, food, air, water, these are the basic items for survival, followed by only other things like home, cloth, luxurious items, education, these all follows. When India got independence during the year of 1947, British had exploited Indian economy to the unimaginary level. The surprising thing is when British came to India during the years of 1600s, the Indian GDP's contribution to the world GDP was about 24%. But when they left the country at the time of 1947, the Indian GDP was just 1% to the world GDP. So I think it won't give any surprise to you when you hear that more number of people in India below poverty line during that time. So the prime task of our first Prime Minister was to eradicate poverty from India. For that he took a policy decision of make India self-sufficient in food production. For that he supported to construct more dams for facilitating electricity production and ensuring water availability to the farmland. Norman Borlaug is the world's well-known scientist who has revolutionized food production in the world agriculture by the way of introducing high-yield varieties of paddy and wheat. India has also implemented the Green Revolution in India. M.S. Swaminathan, scientist who led the program. The first high-yield varieties of paddy and wheat were cultivated in the states of Punjab, Haryana and western part of Uttar Pradesh. The production has increased 2 to 3-fold. So the high-yield varieties cultivation has expanded to other states also. For instance, in southern states such as Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh. In 1960, about 70% of people in India were farmers. So very soon, before 1962, India became not only self-sufficient in food production but also exported wood grains to many other countries. The states of Punjab and Haryana got more benefit from this green revolution, particularly the Sikh and Jat communities. There are few people from these communities came to politics, then they become more influential. There were more number of farming organizations came up, and also these farming organizations are unions most often based on region, language or culture and caste. So there are more number of farmer unions at a different part of the country instead of one farmer union for all farmers in India. There are many number of negative side effects of green revolution as well. For instance, instead of maintaining high production in every year, the farmers try to use high quantity of fertilizers, pesticides, insecticides for every year. So which led to the excess of fertilizers to the groundwater depletion and contamination of drinking water. So when the excess fertilizers and chemical insecticides get into the river, they infect the fishes. When we eat the fishes, it will link with our food chain and it will affect our body as well and create new diseases. Rich farmers got more benefit from green revolution, but in India, more than 85% of farmers are marginally poor and they have the land holding capacity less than 2 acres per family. So now come to the current protest. After government has enacted 3 agricultural related laws, the first one is related to the agriculture produce marketing. Then another one is related to the agriculture produce storage. Then the final one is related to the corporate farming. Initially, after the outcry from the farmers, the farmer unions demanded the government to repeal the 3 agriculture acts newly enacted After their demand didn't accepted by the government, very soon they marched towards Delhi, particularly the farmers from Rajasthan, Haryana, Punjab, like vacating family from one place to another. The protesting farmers group include men, women and children. They were marching towards Delhi and they named it as Dilli Chalo. Some of the farmers were stopped by the Delhi police in the border areas. Few of them tasked to reach the parliament to create national attention. Farmers' protest in India is fueled by support from some political parties, state governments, actors, sportsmen and organized by many farmer organizations. The farmers also got support from their community people in England. They protested in England in support of farmers' protest in India. The Canada Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has raised concern in support of farmers in India because there are number of Sikh community people are living in Canada. And also the Defense Minister is a person from Sikh community in Canada. But Indian government has raised strong objection to the Canada Prime Minister's statement. There are number of volunteers who have been preparing and serving hot meal to the protesters. Indian government has facilitated food facility to the protesters few days back, but the protesters rejected government food facility because government used to give biscuit or roti, but they can prepare the hot meal on the protesting site itself. Now let me see the issues in the recently enacted 3 Farms Act. The first one is agriculture produce marketing. Here the farmers can directly sell their produce to the buyer instead of selling their agriculture produce to the APMC mandis through middlemen. So the government is telling that the farmers used to have more bargaining facilities and more profit, which will lead to doubling the farmers' income. But farmers suspect it may be the step by the government to stop minimum support prices over a period. Then what is minimum support price? The minimum support price is a minimum price fixed for 22 items which include paddy, wheat, maize, ragi, grams. The minimum support price is fixed by the government every year before cultivation. During bumper production, in case the price value of the agriculture produce is less than the minimum support price, then the farmers have the option to sell their produce directly to the Food Corporation of India. The Food Corporation of India will use these grains for emergency needs as well as send to the fair shops and midday meal programs. We must remember that minimum support price is a policy decision, not an act. Only 6% of farmers, particularly from Punjab and Haryana, are getting benefit from minimum support price because farmers from Punjab and Haryana, they are producing surplus of 45% of paddy and wheat. Farmers are also fear of that the big companies as well as individuals, if came to an agreement and artificially creating low demand for the agriculture produce in the market, then whichever price they are asking, the farmers left with no option except selling to them, even though the price may be below than the minimum support price. The agriculture produce market committees, that is APMC mandis, are located far away from farmland. So the small farmers are unable to afford the transportation charges, so they are looking for the middleman as facilitator. These middlemen often buy agriculture produce from different farmers and sell it into the mandis. Then after taking commission, they give remaining money to the farmers. And also these middlemen often give guidance about the agriculture produce which are in high demand in the market to the farmers. So the government decision of stopping the middleman influence was not attracted by the farmers in Punjab and Haryana. Then let me move on to the issue in the contract farming. The corporates used to have ununderstandable severe terms with the illiterate farmers in their agreement. So in case there is a low demand for the agriculture produce, then the corporates may not buy the produce as per the terms. The farmers are also worried of giving their land for pooling in corporate farming because there is a general notion that land for tillers. So after the terms is over, they think that it may be difficult for them to get back their land from big corporates. Then there is a huge outcry regarding air pollution at New Delhi and surrounding areas, which is particularly during the winter season because of burning of farm residues in the states of Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana and Western Uttar Pradesh. So government might think that if corporates are allowed to invest more in the agriculture field, then the farmland might have been mechanized and the excess farm residues might have been used for making biogas. It will increase agriculture produce and give the way for the excess agricultural labors to the other economic activities, and reduce the government subsidy to the farmers, because India is giving 2 to 2.5% of GDP to the farmers as subsidy. That is come around $45 billion to $50 billion, which is one of the highest in the world. Japan is giving about $46 billion as subsidy to its farmers. Then the US and European Union is giving lesser than that. But in the US, only 2% of farmers are poor farmers. In India, the subsidy given as free or low price electricity and chemical fertilizer also lead to environmental degradation. Because the electricity is free, the farmers are depleting the groundwater to the great extent, and also excess use of fertilizers which leads to the groundwater, drinking water, as well as the rivers, which contaminate the drinking water and induces many kind of diseases. The paddy is one of the high water consuming crop, and also in the paddy field water is often locked, so the methane gas is generated, which has the high potential of holding temperature many times higher than the carbon dioxide, and hence it lead to the global warming. So the Indian government tried to diversify the crop production, particularly low water consuming crops in the groundwater depleted areas. Even then there is not enough sincere attempt by the farmers. So government may think that the contract farming will enable the corporate to invest more on agriculture, and new technologies may come up to handle the agriculture residues properly and reduce the pollution. The new law enacted by the government to monitor the air pollution at New Delhi and surrounding areas penalize the farmers, those who are improperly handling the agriculture residues. As we have now the surplus of agriculture produce, the government focus may be towards on handling the health sector as well as the education, because due to the pandemic, the online classes are not as effective as practical classes. So the economically vulnerable people are mostly affected due to the lack of education through online. And also we need more investment in the health sector to fight efficiently against the COVID-19 pandemic. So the four main demands of farmer protest in India include repealing of 3 agriculture related laws enacted by the government recently, then legalization of MSP, then stop penalizing farmers for burning agriculture residues in and around of Delhi. Finally, there should not be any difficult changes in the electricity subsidy given to the farmers. Recently, Indian government has claimed that there are crores of financial losses to the government because of the trains route are turned to the lengthy route, so the fuel consumption of that route increases. Farmers also lose their daily economic activities due to the protest. So let me hope that there will be amicable solution will come soon after the government as well as the farmer unions have a peaceful negotiation. Okay friends, what do you think about this video? Give your opinion in the comment section. Give your thumbs up by clicking the like button and share to your friends. Remember to subscribe our channel and also click the bell icon. Then the moment I post the video, you will get immediate notification. We shall meet again in our next discussion. Until then, take care. Love you all. Bye bye.